Hey everybody, Pierre Quinn here, and I teach leaders how to courageously begin the journey to personal and professional transformation. And in this video, I want to talk to you about something that I struggle with. Let's go. Before we jump deeper into the video, be sure to hit that subscribe button so that you can be one of the first to know whenever I release new content. So, I know this video is about what I struggle with, but what do you struggle with? What's difficult for you to navigate? One of the things that I struggle with a lot is the tension of the space right before the talk, right before the presentation, right before the workshop. Several years ago, my church choir was singing at a major event. It was an event where all the churches in the area came together for a day of worship and celebration and reflection. Now, I was one of the soloists for the youth choir, and I was really excited to be able to sing the solo to this song in front of all of these people. Can you imagine being there, standing on stage? I was maybe 9 or 10 years old. Can't remember exactly, but I remember the other parts of this thing. Can't exactly remember the age that I was, but I do remember standing on stage and the track starting. I remember listening to the music. I remember the rest of the choir behind me. I remember seeing the people in the audience. I remember holding the microphone. I remember hearing the cue for the song to start, and I remember freezing. That's right. I remember freezing. In the moments before the curtain was pulled back, all of these thoughts went through my mind. What will happen if I mess up? What will happen if the words don't come out? Who's going to be there looking at me? What is the choir thinking behind me? What if something goes wrong with the track? What if? And I rehearsed the what ifs so much that when the time came for me to sing, I had no words. Now, I will say, after the first verse of the song and the choir came in and they sang their part incredibly, by the time the second verse of the song came around, I jumped right in and I sang the second verse, and I think the song closed well, and there was affirmation from the audience about the middle and the closing of the song. But what about that beginning part? Now, as the curtain closed and we went backstage, I was feeling kind of good that the song ended on a high note, but the rest of the choir looked at me with that look. How could you mess up the song? How could you mess up this moment? How could you freeze on a song that you've sung so many times? What happened? And part of me struggles with that until this day. Whenever I go somewhere to speak and they read that introduction, or it's time for me to give the presentation, or the countdown timer is alive and I'm waiting for everything to start, sometimes I struggle with calming myself down. I struggle with the what ifs. What if the presentation is trash and no one hears it? What if my computer dies? What if people don't like the content? What if people feel like it's a waste of time? And I've been there before in conferences where people got up in the middle of my presentation and walked out. What if? And it doesn't just start in the moments right before the presentation. Sometimes it starts the day before. Sometimes it starts on the plane or on the car ride. Sometimes it starts when I get dressed in the morning in a hotel in a different city and I'm going through my paces for my content, and those what ifs come rifling through my mind, and I struggle. Sometimes I struggle to tell myself, you got this. Sometimes I struggle to tell myself, you've been here before. Sometimes I struggle to tell myself, the content is solid. The delivery is proven. Sometimes I struggle to tell myself, hey, go on LinkedIn and check out the recommendations that people have given about your work. Sometimes I struggle to remind myself to check the receipts, to go look at the pictures. I struggle to remind myself that whenever I feel that rush of energy pulsing through my body, that's just my body's way of creating enough juice to do the job well. And there are moments when I struggle. But you know what happens? You know what happens when the moment comes? Do you know what happens when the microphone is placed in my hands? Do you know what happens when I hit the record button? Everything that I was struggling with in that moment is put on pause. It's put on pause for the moment. It's put on pause for the presentation. It's put on pause for the workshop so that I can deliver. And you know what's the hard thing? The hard thing is that after it's done, after the session has been finished, after the video has been recorded and uploaded, after we've gone through the keynote, I really struggle, I really fight with not picking up those what ifs one more time. So for me, it's the struggle of what if. What if this time doesn't go well? What if this time doesn't get an ovation? What if this time I'm not requested to come back and give another talk? But I'm willing to push through the struggle. I'm willing to push through the discomfort. I'm willing to keep pressing record. I'm willing to keep standing on stages because I'm giving hope to people like me who also struggle with their own what ifs. So what about you? What's your struggle? And what will you do to activate the courage so that you too can be an inspiration for people who struggle just like you?